Film School Slacker contains adult language and themes. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome back to Film School Slacker, the podcast where I keep trying to come up with witty taglines and just have ran out of them today. I'll come but today. They've already been bad, but now I just officially just gave up.
You know what? I get it.
Either way, this is the podcast where I go through my gigantic watch list of films I've never seen, even though I'm a film school graduate, and I go through it with my bestie.
Hey, that's me. I'm Megan.
Oh, I'm Ian. And today we have a movie that I know literally nothing about except for the title.
I think that's really all you need for this one.
And that's kind of my thing is like, what more do you need to know than Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yeah.
There's no...
That's it. That's the movie. It's a hot tub time machine. It's a time machine that's a hot tub.
Right.
They go back in time.
In a time machine.
That's
so,
what you need to know.
I don't know who's in it. I don't know who directed it. I don't know when it came out. Like, I don't know anything.
So, Hot Tub Time Machine from 2010.
2010. Wow.
What a year.
What a vintage.
Starring John Cusack, Rob Corddry, Craig Robinson, Clark Duke, among others. Directed by Steve Pink.
What else has Steve Pink done?
Let's find out, shall we?
Yes, I'm deeply interested to know.
Okay, so he also directed Grosse Pointe Blank, also starring John Cusack.
Okay.
And High Fidelity, also. Actually, he just wrote the screenplay for those two. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Recently, he's directed some episodes of the Cobra Kai TV show, Santa Clarita Diet. Which I very much enjoyed that show. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of stuff.
Okay. All right.
A couple episodes of New Girl.
Wow. Kind of varied, but in a theme.
Oh, Accepted.
Okay.
From 2006.
Okay.
You probably haven't seen that one.
I have not.
It's all right. But anyway, yeah. So it's really just. Hot tub time machine.
Yeah,
that's
time machine.
All you really need to know.
Time machine that is in the form of a hot tub.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's much more to say about
I really don't think there is.
I have no expectations, so it's very possible that I'm either going to be deeply impressed or really disappointed, and I'm curious to find out which one it is.
I think that's kind of the reason we put this on the list, is because you're either know nothing about it, you're either going to be pretty entertained, or you're going to hate me for it.
It's going to be either like I'm going to be like, wow, that was more nuanced than I was expecting. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I was subjected to this.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the latter.
Yeah. So we're gonna find out. So let's go ahead and roll the tape.
Let's get into it. Are we still friends?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
First of all, I want Chernobyl really badly.
I just want to try it.
I just want to know,
see if it tastes like radioactive waste.
Right, like if it like we stuck it into a pool, like we would end up going through the time-space continuum. Wow. Okay. So let me gather my thoughts here.
Gather.
I think it was weirdly like a fun psychological philosophical exploration. The idea that it's like there's no way that you could have your entire life that you've had since the time you were in high school or college and then go back and try to live it.
Yeah.
Like there's no way you could ever do it the same way. Yeah. Or have the same feelings or do it the same way you would expect to. It was interesting. The only real okay, well, I had lots of little complaints. The only like real structural complaint I had was I don't like that it ended with Lou being a douche. Like, you know what I mean?
There was no lesson learned.
Yeah.
Like to make him a
better,
quote unquote, better person.
Like he was still like a raging alcoholic.
He was still a douchebag.
He was shitty to his now has a wife and his son. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really. It never stuck any, like you said, like any sort of moral or any sort of thing to make it have a payoff.
To make it, I was gonna say, to make it worth.
Right. The movie that this is gonna sound ridiculous, but the movie that it like from like a structure standpoint that it reminds me of the most is Click.
Okay.
It was like 2005 or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah. It even had the weird guy in a blue coat that was like the magic machine, the guy that operated the mysterious machine, the MacGuffin of the entire thing. But instead of Christopher Walken, they just happened to have Chevy Chase. There was no, like, it was the same kind of concept. I think that, and it followed the same kinds of foibles, you know, like it was kind of a character that was sort of not likable, or he had lots of things that he wished he could just take care of or do over again or whatever. And then like it came back to bite him.
Yeah.
The weird thing about this one is it just like the MacGuffin ended up just making this guy's bad habits just work for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't have, there was like, I remember watching Click and being like, at the end being like, oh my God, this was heartfelt.
Why?
Well, yeah.
I thought this was a comedy.
This is a fucking Adam Sandler movie. What are we doing?
I felt betrayed by Click.
Right. Truly.
Like, excuse me, I was expecting a fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to feel feelings.
Like, there was funny stuff, but it was just, it was a movie that actually had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
And that is not, so this one didn't do that. And it's too bad, because I think that there were a lot of opportunities to do that, because I think it and also the other thing was a very, very accurate portrayal of time travel. Just hear me out.
I write Stargate fan fiction. I know what I'm talking about.
Shut up. The idea of like consciousness transfer is one of the most common, like, alternate, you know, kind of,
you don't go back
in time,
you just go back into
yourself. Like you just kind of follow your own time stream, which in a lot of ways makes sense. And I liked that mentality of trying it that way, because, you know, it worked for their storyline, because they had to relive their lives as themselves. But I think that actually made a lot of sense. And the fact that the young guy, what is his name? Jacob. Yeah. He was like kind of not totally there, but mostly there. It was interesting. I liked some of that, you know, like there was elements of that I found actually very, very cool. And, you know, there were moments where I was like, Lou was going to have a breakthrough or something, like, you know, where he would experience the same things over again. Like, I'm just trying, like, it makes you think about, like, the idea of, like, let's say it was the cast part, like, you and I are sitting in this room and we are teleported back to the, like, cast party of Beauty and the Beast, like, right now. Like, you and I are just like hanging out, and you and I are then teleported back in time as ourselves in that moment to that scene, and everyone else is living their lives like normal, but you and I have now had our entire, you know, additional 15 some years of experience, you know, beyond that, and go back to that moment. How would you react? How would we deal with that? And like, would we realize, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of interesting stuff with that particular setup. It was just, I found it very unfortunate that, like, this very hateable character, they're all a little hateable, but he was the most hateable, obviously hateable. And he, like, didn't have his comeuppance. He didn't have his moment. He just used his loophole of knowing the future and pushing everyone else back into the hot tub. And, like, all of his friends ended up okay, but like it was sort of that click thing. They just kind of woke up in the middle of their bit, which, to be fair, is fine because because they were able to use once in a lifetime.
Wouldn't that suck to be the person who, like, to be one of the people who goes from 2010 when this movie came out back to 1986,
right,
and then back to 2010.
Right, and you have to live it.
It's a whole new life. Yeah. It's a whole new, because like,
you're talking about being teleported back.
Yeah. Being teleported back.
You wake up in a life, and it's like,
and it's like, I don't know, like they're going to different homes,
right? Like he's giving them their Crispin Glover gives them their Google Maps printouts. Also printouts, what the fuck?
I know. It's 2010. It's okay,
I guess. And then they all go back to their new houses, and one guy is ending up married to somebody,
married to the same person.
That
oh no, you're talking about John Cusack.
Yeah, like he ends up married to somebody that he met in the previous timeline.
Yeah,
but like it's just weird, like it's a very weird thing.
Then you've missed 20 some years of your life. You know, this new life that you could have had, that you did have, but that you don't know.
Like you don't remember it.
And I'm surprised that Craig Robinson ended up with the same person that he was married to in the previous timeline, because
and also and she didn't cheat because he yelled at her when she was 9. It's freaking whoa.
There's a thunderstorm coming in
out there,
I guess.
I just found that really weird.
I don't know if Lou's issue was a self-esteem thing,
right? Because
that seems to be the only thing that changed, is his self-worth, because in the first timeline, he got the shit kicked out of him by Sebastian Stan,
right?
And
definitely that was a hang-up point for him, you can tell.
And then kind of his life deteriorated, and he was a financial failure. He got divorced. He was an alcoholic, just sort of kind of downward spiral,
right?
And he was sort of stuck in that however old they were,
right,
age mentally,
right. He was the most stunted for sure.
Yeah. And then in the new timeline, he realizes that he's Jacob's dad, and then apparently marries Jacob's mom,
right?
And and uses his
knowledge of the
future / past, Days of Future's past,
right?
To use that for financial gain, and
also so I see the argument too. He's using the mistakes, the understanding of the mistakes he's made and the changes he's learned in the past again.
But he's still
a douchebag.
He's
still a douchebag, and also theoretically we're experiencing a lot of he's experiencing a lot of development and changes in his life in that intervening time that we fast forward through the time warp with everyone, and then we come out on the other side and he's theoretically made changes. We don't really know. It just feels like I don't know.
Because I get there's on one of my podcasts that I listen to, where it's a Love Is Blind recap podcast.
Amazing.
And
do you watch Love Is Blind?
I do.
Amazing.
I've seen a couple seasons.
Incredible.
It is
amazing.
So bad, but really entertaining.
I will know. I don't think I could ever watch it. I would like to hear a recap though.
It's on Spotify.
Great.
I'll send it to you. It's called Shut the Fuck Up, Nick Lachey with Ellen.
Oh, it's with the Ellen.
Yeah, it's got Ellen
Marsh
and Daisy Egan, who is fantastic. I think you would like her a lot.
Well, anyway,
so they cover Love Is Blind, and there's this couple in, I think, season 6.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's season 2. I can't remember. They've done all the seasons out of order, which is fine. It's great. I love it. Don't stop. But it's this couple who they have really good banter and give each other a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And just back and forth, kind of snipey snipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the podcast, they make the point okay, but at some point the banter has to stop. and you have to like
be
real with each other. And I think that's the relationship that Lou and Jacob's mom have, is there's the banter is nonstop, and they never have like a real moment that we ever really have a real moment. They just hate each other.
Well, and that's the thing, is like the first bit that they have with each other where they have a moment, they're literally fucking.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But then again, I don't think this movie is meant to be
you're
anything
right. No, it's not supposed to be more
life-changing. It's
and that's fine. You know, like, and that's fine. I just wish that structurally they had done a little more on character development. Like, it felt like it was treading, like, I don't know what I was supposed to get out of it.
Yeah. Instead of being like, oh, well, I'm just gonna fuck the future and live for tonight and you know, whatever. Like, maybe there would have, I don't know, like how would it have been? How could we have made this better? Right.
I think that
because I like the self-confidence boost that Craig Robinson got.
Yep.
And he, you know, went back into music and followed his passion and became a music producer. Good for him.
Right.
I don't really know what John Cusack did other than marry Lizzie Kaplan.
Right. I mean, no, that's an upgrade for sure, but
I mean, yeah, it's better than being left.
Right.
And then, I mean, yeah, like Jacob had really no arc.
Nope. Other than realizing he has terrible parents.
Right. Other than, yeah.
Like, his life got empirically worse in some ways. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, great. Now I went from living in Second Life to having Lou as my dad.
Parents who ostensibly hate each other. Also, how are there not more kids? Because if they're the kind of couple who like hate fuck,
right?
Like, how does he not have like 6 siblings? I don't know.
Decided that a vasectomy early on was beneficial.
You know, good for them.
You know, fair enough.
But yeah, the character part was lacking. Yeah. It's, you know, face value.
Yeah, for sure. I most of my notes for this are a lot of them are just like quotes at this point. It. Yeah. My favorite thing was the first thing where it's the exploding beer where it like exploded up into his face like the first day. The first like little bit that was funny. The taxidermist is stuffing my mother. Drinking out of the bottle is when you know you've made it. Where he's just like drinking out of the bottle in the car. Like, oh god, we're off to a good start. Oof. John Cusack with the red dot in his own head, just because it was the things he was keeping or getting rid of, and he was a little red dot. Chernobyl is something I actually fucking want. Lou fucking sucks. Ativan is different. Ativan's not the same thing. It is not like Ritalin. Please do not take Ativan if you're trying to.
Don't put it up your butt.
Do not put it up your butt. Good God. I write Stargate fan fiction.
I know what I'm talking about.
Neither cocks nor dicks nor sucks. Great. Is this an accurate depiction of time travel? Maybe. And then they get back to the past. I'm just like, hello, John Hughes. We meet again. The 80s fucking sucked. I think one of the things I enjoyed about it the most was just their like, there's, you know, like looking at like the John Hughes kind of almost semi-glamorous or at least nostalgic portrayal of the 80s. This had a very dark portrayal of the 80s. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a lot less
it was upbeat. A lot more, well, yeah, and it was a lot of coke and, you know. True.
Yeah, there was a lot of that
booze
happening.
And a lot of spandex. So much spandex.
Almost an obscene amount of spandex. It was, you know,
because I mean, John Hughes was making movies in the 80s, and this was like
a retrospective. I know. It was just interesting to see it from that perspective, like a retrospective look at the 80s, and not doing it in a way that's a way
glamorizing.
Not glamorized,
romanticizing.
Right. It was very. What was the line where like, this is not like that? It's the 80s. We've got, what was it? We've got Reagan and AIDS. Like, it was just like, that was like an actual line, you know. It was just very, very grim. Why? I can't talk to you. Why not? I'm awesome. That's a great line.
Why not? I'm awesome.
That is how I would end up marrying somebody. She would just be like that. Why not talk to me? I'm awesome. Like, okay, touche. It's not gay. What's that?
Is she a little manic pixie dream girl?
Okay, well, set your definition with because I sometimes struggle with this one.
It's a female character who has some sort of quirk, who is really only there to serve the character development or the character arc of the male character. We get a little bit, she's a music journalist who's only there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. I'm trying to think, again,
it's so, because we have 4 main characters that we're trying to follow in this 90-minute movie.
Right. So
maybe, it got lost in the story.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would she want to keep hanging out with him?
I know. Yeah, that's the other thing is they met, and that's the other thing too is our main leads aren't particularly interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't have well, actually, I think Nick is the most.
Yeah.
I think he's the most,
definitely the most
compelling character because he has music and he's got whatever. But I think
it's implied that John Cusack's character is a writer.
Okay. Oh yeah, because he was writing poetry.
But that's the only indication that we get.
Give. Right.
We don't get a line where it's oh well, you just gave up on your writing, or you haven't written anything in ages.
Right. Yeah, they give very little backstory, and that's the other thing too is I hate stuff, and this is just maybe just because of my own irritations that are maybe unfounded, but I don't like it when it's hello, random person that I've now just met. Now we're very connected. You know what I mean? I've never...
The love at first sight trope.
Yeah, and it happened so regularly in this movie. Not even love, necessarily love at first, but mutual lust at first sight. That kind of concept of being compelled by somebody and engaging with them right away. It felt like that happened a lot in this movie. You know what I mean? Just oh, random person. Hello, random person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking to you now. I'm and maybe that's just me being introverted and being ooh, I would never do that.
Oh,
but
God.
it's maybe it's just a scene that I'm not used to, but that would never happen to me. I don't know. That's my own
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, but that's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's just my own thing I should think about. should work on that. I was definitely struggling with the middle-aged dudes acting in scenes with very young women. Did you feel that vibe a little bit? Because I kind of felt that vibe a little bit. I know they were intended to be looking young to everyone, but I was just ooh, this is interesting. This is a vibe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's a weird. I mean, it's a weird thing to think about. I can't remember. I can't think of who played John Cusack's young girlfriend. Here, give me a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of curious as to
what their
actual age differences were. Yeah,
that's fair.
Oh my God, Lindsay Fonseca, who played the daughter on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh no,
was his
That's
girlfriend.
Who that was?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let's see. This movie came out 2010. She was born in 1987. So she would have been 23.
Okay.
And John Cusack was older than that.
Yeah. He's
66.
So he would have been.
So he was at least 44.
Yeah, I don't love that.
So good 20-year spread there.
And I understand that that's the point. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it was still I don't know why thought process just out of the fact that it was the 3 classic that it was the 3 older guys were playing themselves as younger guys was sort of an odd choice to me. Like, I know that they were big names and like they wanted to use them, but like it almost felt like they should have gone with less well-known older guys and done younger guys
who were more popular.
But making decisions like the older guys. To me, that would have felt maybe
acting
more
like
authentic.
the older guys.
Yeah.
A little Freaky Friday kind of situation.
Exactly. Less click. Less. There's another movie that I was thinking of for this that I'm struggling to think of now, but like just less of that and more, like more Freaky Friday and being a young person having to.
We're in our young bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have changed how I felt about it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like maybe even if the story hadn't changed much, I would have felt.
It would have felt more. It would have felt less incongruous.
Yeah.
It would have felt a little more natural for, like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I don't know how to articulate it.
Yeah,
which is kind of bad because we have a podcast.
I know we're trying to
sort of the whole point.
We're sitting here trying to articulate things and both going. I think to me it felt like the fact that it was the perception that I got, and I don't think this is necessarily true because I don't think that the 3 actors that were in it actually had anything to do with the writing of it. However, to me it felt like it was an older guy. Like it was almost sort of like. It was like a self-serving.
Yeah, it was like a
fantasy.
Yeah.
Like a guy in his 40s fantasy.
Right.
And like that's fine.
Like nothing wrong with that.
No, but like it would have been more interesting to write it as a piece where you actually had young actors coming in and having to play.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like it would have been the shtick would have been funnier to me. Like it would have,
like if Zac Efron had been one of the guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd have had young actors because the majority of the movie was them as young people.
Yeah,
and we didn't ever really see that except
in reflections,
and they were just playing them. Like it was weird. Like it was a weird choice, and it felt like it was definitely. I mean, it was probably targeting 40-year-old men. Maybe I'm absolutely missing the point.
Well,
I'm sure.
Like, I mean, who doesn't?
It's a self-insert. Like you feel it's
who doesn't?
It's a fanfic.
Wish fulfillment. Yeah.
It's like
who doesn't want to go back and
middle-aged man writing his own.
Make all like completely different choices.
Right.
And maybe wind up in a better place and use your knowledge of what happens, societally and socially.
Right.
Like,
it's a wish fulfillment fantasy. My only benefit is the fact that I have a knowledge advantage in the scenario, and that's how I'm going to get my benefit in this.
Yeah.
And the thing that's funny to me about this is that never really was utilized either. Like, they never really got the benefit of having foresight during the run of the movie. Just the part that Lou dealt with during the thing.
Well, even the bet that they make
falls through
because of the squirrel that they vomit on,
right?
Like, which is was a weird narrative choice.
It's a weird narrative choice.
How does a squirrel get onto an NFL football field?
And they should have, and I think that they should have let that play out. Like, let Lou have that moment. Like, it felt weird that it didn't happen. Like, let it like there was.
It felt weird that it changed.
You felt like there was no arc.
It felt like it changed because they wanted the scene where Lou almost gives him a blowjob.
Yes, it was a bunch of sophomore gags that were stitched together by a plot that actually had more promise.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting mad. I don't know. I'm on a kick lately, but I think that was my big complaint. Is it felt like there also could have been a really cool arc as part of going back in time, and they didn't really do it, really.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen young actors play these roles, because that's who we see most of the time.
Yeah.
And you forget it entirely because you're watching 3 actors in their, early to mid 40s.
Yeah.
So boogie boarding.
Anyway, boogie boarding.
Moving back to the notes. Put the coke down. That was when John Cusack was just doing all of the drugs.
Doing all of the drugs.
It's just like he's like, I like the mushrooms. I want a few more.
I like the mushrooms. Just eating them out of the bag.
Come on, Chaz.
Chaz and Blaine.
Chaz and Blaine. It's just an amazing situation. Oh, new nightmare unlocked. Looking outside in the thunderstorm, it's just Chevy Chase saying "at dawn." which that is terrifying. The quote, "I don't like you taking liberties with my dick," which is a great line. Honestly,
there's some fun.
There's some fun.
It's just a fun bitty.
It's got lots of fun bits.
Yeah.
I know that squirrel. Who are you people?
Who are those people?
Why are they there?
Like, gathered to watch a dude give another dude a blowjob in a bathroom
by coercion. Like, why would you want to watch that?
Literally.
Classic.
I mean, it was no shame if
you're into that,
thing,
but also everyone's got to be on board with that.
But also consent is key, people.
Right? Your heart's a fucking liar. Oh, another great line. "I love how much you hate you." That line stuck with me as well. That was a really good line.
That's gotta be I don't know. There's gotta be something in that relationship that's
deeply broken. Yeah.
They're just I get the I don't know. You hate yourself so much that I want to fuck you so I can fix you.
Yeah.
And then they just get married. I don't know.
It doesn't.
That makes no sense to me.
It doesn't seem great. Something's off. And then my last note was Sebastian Stan gives everything he does 500%.
Oh God, yeah.
Which I loved him. I have a lot of respect for him for
as the stereotypical 80s villain.
Totally.
He totally is. He's committed to that bit.
I love it.
The fact
so much.
that he's like, I'm a patriot. I'm not gonna give these commie Ruskies.
The Ruskies, yeah, it's so funny,
dude. He's calm down.
Yeah, sir, I need you to take about 5 or 6 seats.
But also that's the point of the character, and he fucking rocked it. Totally. Sebastian Stan, come on our podcast.
Yes, amazing.
He does give everything 5,000%.
I have a lot of respect for that. Okay, let's rate this fucker.
7 out of 10. I don't know. Oh, right, we have criteria.
Production and design rating. I mean, visually, I think it was totally fine.
Yeah.
The hot tub.
I'd give it a solid 4.
I'll give it a 4. Yeah, because it was good. Story, a
3, maybe 3.5.
I think 3 is as generous as I would ever want to be.
It's fun, but there's no real like we mentioned, there's no real character development, there's no real arc. It just seems like there's no point.
It's like you said, it's got some good zingers in it, but that's almost more like scripting than story, than full story. But I mean, I think that we can say it's safe to lump those things together.
Yeah.
3 is fine.
Well, and the what color is Michael Jackson line was ad-libbed.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Craig Robinson just came up with that.
Amazing.
Which freaking brilliant.
It is brilliant. Black. Oh fuck.
Black. Oh
fuck. Performance rating. I'll give the actors credit for doing a decent job.
Yeah.
I think
I'd say a 4.
A 4 is fine because it's like you said, even what you said, Craig Robinson did that line, which was great. So I suspect that there was probably more ad-libbing going on. Cultural impact.
I don't know that it had any.
I mean, it was brought up in.
It was neutral.
Yeah, it was brought up in 30 Rock once. But I mean, it had a moment, but it wasn't. It was never.
Everything has a moment,
but it also never. It never tried to be anything.
Yeah,
so
it never
I don't
tried
wanna,
to be anything. It's not trying to change how people make movies or change how people feel about anything. It's just, it's like I said, it's a popcorn movie.
It is.
It's a, hey, my friends and I have some good name recognition, and I have a halfway decent script. Give us, you know, a couple $1 million.
Right.
Or tens of millions of dollars, and we'll go shoot this.
Right.
Because I've got interest from these people. It's And like, no shame on that. You
Right,
know,
there's
how many
nothing wrong
people ended up working on this movie? A lot.
Totally.
So
No,
good for them.
Good for them. No, I have no.
I'm not against popcorn movies.
No, absolutely not. I have no. I think.
This is a movie.
A 3
I like.
is fine. I think that it did what it did, but it can't be amazing because it's not trying to be amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fault it for saying it was claiming to be more than it was.
It's not.
I can't. Not going to rate it on its own.
The title of the movie is the movie.
Yeah, and they even say the name of the movie in the movie. So
like a couple times.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a hot tub time machine.
Yeah.
Like it's
what it is.
That's face value.
Right.
That's what you signed up for, and
Yep.
that's what you get.
That's what you get.
So there you go.
Perfection.
It's what it's.
It's what it's. Exactly.
It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right.
At all.
Absolutely.
Which is great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have no issues with this movie.
Right.
I mean, I have
issues. I guess I should say I have issues with it, but I don't
But
have
I don't begrudge the fact that it was made.
I don't begrudge the existence of the movie.
Right.
I just have a lot of gripes.
Yeah.
Because
that's more than fair.
Pedantic.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 is fine. So 3 is 3 in our thing for cultural impact is sort of neutral.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like if it did nothing to advance the world, but it also didn't hurt the world, I guess 3 is safe. Yeah.
If it made it worse, it would be a 1 or a 2.
Yep. So
Fight Club.
Right. We're looking at you, Fight Club.
Fight Club.
So in our rating system, that puts it at the bottom of our current list of stuff.
Yeah, I believe it.
3.5 total.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Something's got to be at the bottom. What's the next one?
Above it?
Yeah.
What do you think is next
Fight
above
Club?
it? Yeah. 3.8.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's Hot Tub Time Machine. You have now seen it.
I have now seen it. And I get to rate it.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. I don't, it's again, is there more than one of these?
I think there's a second one.
Oh my God.
But I haven't seen it and I don't care to.
Yeah, that sounds there doesn't need to be more than anything else.
What do you even
where would you go?
Further back in time?
That sounds awful.
Into the future? Cuz like Back to the Future 2, so Back to the Future 1, they go back to the 50s from the 80s, and then back to the 80s, and things are better.
Yeah.
And then in Back to the Future 2, shit, what happens in Back to the Future 2? It's been so long since I've seen that.
Don't they go forward?
Yes, he goes forward.
Because that's where like Biff is president, and it's a whole fucking
So they go forward, and then they discover that Biff did something, so they go back to the 50s and then to the 80s and then I don't know. I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've seen that one. But anyway, they would have do they go to the future in Hot Tub Time Machine 2? I don't know. I don't care.
I don't want to.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't care to find out.
There's not more story that I want out of that.
Right. Because Back to the Future, for the time it was made, was holy shit.
Right.
And now they're going to the future? What the fuck?
Right.
Let's do this.
Right,
and it had, the likability of Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd and Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
I have now seen it. It has been removed from the watch list, and it's now in my list of watched films.
In your brain.
It's in my brain now, and it's gonna take up space. But that's all right because
you know what?
I had never seen John Cusack in a movie before, so
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It is what it is. I'm so glad this was my first.
All right.
Alrighty, gang.
This has been Film School Slacker. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ian. We will see you next time.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Film School Slacker. Our graphic design is by Mitch Ransdell. Music by Ariel Shalom and Ziv Moran. Voiceover audio provided by Mike D and Janet Paoni. Learn more at filmschoolslacker.com.